Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about why you shouldn't deny your true nature. So, what do I mean by this? What is your true nature? Well, this pretty much means your authentic self. You shouldn't deny who you are. And a large part of this is going to be predicated on your personality. We all have different personality types. And your personality is going to affect your desires, the things that you want in life. It's going to affect who you hang out with. It's going to affect the way that you operate in the world. It's going to affect your behavior. It's basically the main thing that's going to impact the life that you live. Your personality is almost like a sort of map for your life. I'm sure at some point psychologists may even be able to predict the kind of life you would live just by knowing your personality. So it's very important that you figure out who you are. And one of the things that helped me do this was a personality test that I learned about in psychology back in high school. And this personality test is called the Myers-Briggs personality test. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. If you haven't, I highly suggest you give it a Google search and take one of the many free tests that are out there. It's going to give you results that are probably the most accurate out of any personality test out there. Heck, they've got it drilled down to the point where they can almost predict career paths that would suit you. For instance, the most recent time I took the test was actually a few days ago, and I got ENFJ, which they said would make for a good guidance counselor or therapist or that sort of thing, which sounds like me, because I really like helping people, and that's basically what my results even told me, but I already knew this. So taking this personality test will kind of help you understand who you are. A lot of people don't actually know themselves very well. So this test is kind of a bit of a cheating way of getting there, because it circumvents a lot of the personal work you'd otherwise have to do, which, if you want to get into that, I would highly suggest making a habit of at least a few times a week sitting in the question of who am I? Just ask yourself that question when you're in a quiet place and you have some time, and sit in it. Be honest about who you are, what makes you the person that you are. And over time, when you do this enough, you'll really get to know yourself. But if you don't want to do that, then take a personality test. It'll really help kind of circumvent that. But anyway, the whole point here is that you want to get an idea of who you are. And once you know this, then stay true to that. Live in a way that speaks to your true nature. You see, so many of us try to deny who we are, and it leads always to unhappiness. Because it's kind of like having a fish and taking it out of water. The fish, the longer you have it out of water, well, one, it'll eventually die, but it's not in its element anymore. It's not going to be able to operate because it's being removed from the very thing that allows it to be itself. And that's kind of like what it's like to deny your true nature. You're not allowing yourself to be you. You're taking yourself out of the environment that would make you most successful, like taking that fish out of water. So why would you do that? Why would you ever deny your true nature? Interestingly enough, I actually have a few anecdotes from my own life in regards to this, where I used to think I was introverted, but I actually wasn't. And the E in ENFJ stands for extroverted. So when I was younger, I, for one, didn't understand what introverted and extroverted meant, and I used to believe that being shy was the same thing as introverted, but they're not. They're separate things. So I was shy when I was younger. I was a shy extrovert. It's one of the worst things you could be, because it means by default you're going to be denying your true nature because you're shy. Extroverts like being around people. They are literally energized from being around other people. That's the definition of extroversion. It means that people literally make you feel energized and charged, whereas introverts feel like they're drained from other people. But that's not because they don't like people. I see that get thrown around a lot. No, introverts can still like people. It just means that when they're having long conversations and they're always around other people, they slowly start to feel drained. It's almost like their energy reserves are being depleted. Maybe it's from the fact that their body literally utilizes energy when they're talking to somebody else and thinking, or I don't know what it is, but basically they feel drained. And that's no fault of the other person. It just means that's the way they operate. So then after a while, they have to go home, go to a quiet place, and rest and recharge. But extroverts, on the other hand, they literally will feel energized around other people. And that was me. I just didn't realize it. So since I was shy, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this, I wouldn't actually go around other people because I didn't know how to bridge that gap. I didn't know how to talk to them. I was kind of awkward. I didn't have great social skills pretty much. So being a shy extrovert, I was denying my true nature. I wasn't being authentic to myself because I saw a group of people over there and I wanted to go talk to them. But I wouldn't do it because I didn't know how to. But then fast forward to today, and now I'm no longer shy and I'm not denying my true nature anymore. And I can tell you I'm a lot happier for it. So this is what I mean here. You want to figure out who you are, what your personality type is, and then live in accordance with it. Because if you don't, you're not going to be happy. So figure out who you are, what makes you you. Ask that question of who am I as much as possible so that you can get to know yourself. And then over time, just live in accordance with what makes you you. For instance, if you love the ocean, if you love the beach, then go to it more often. If you love skateboarding, do that more often. The things that you enjoy, do them more often. And if you are extroverted or introverted, just keep that in mind when you're around other people. If you're introverted, then maybe don't go to parties all that much because you're going to feel drained. If you're extroverted, party it up, have fun, be around other people. Just keep your personality type in mind when you're doing things, so that way you can be authentic to yourself. And occasionally I know we'll have to kind of go against our true nature, maybe to compromise with a loved one or a romantic partner, or just for your job or other reasons. And that's okay. Just try not to do it too often because you don't want to be denying your true nature all that much. And anyway, I feel like at this point I'm rambling, so I hope that this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!